Yo, what's going on, man? Today is June the 2nd, 2024. It's your boy Chris. I also got my guy Dream, Mr. Blunt Money Bets himself, to join the stream today, man. I'm trying to do a little, a few more WNBA collabs, man. There's some really great WNBA handicappers that I know, specifically, and just trying to give you guys more angles. Dream is a player prop enthusiast. He definitely been capping the WNBA and hammering out some player props, some long shots as well. So I wanted to bring Dream on the channel for today. A little later start time. We got 4 games in the W. I'm excited to get into them. And Dream, take a minute, man. Just introduce yourself. Tell the people about who you are, how you guys started, and where they can find all your work.
Yeah, appreciate it. First off, shout out to my boy ChrisBeCappinn. Appreciate you having me on. But yeah, I'm Dream, man. Follow me on Twitter, Mr. Dreamy1, the number 1. I've been capping the WNBA. This is my second year. Had a really good first year. Off to a great start. I pretty much started this on my boy ChrisBeCappinn on his Spaces. Now I got my own YouTube channel, Blunt Money Bets, and we do straights and we do a bunch of parlays and stuff. Bet a little to make a lot, hence the name Blunt Money Bets. So if you watch my stream, you already know I always salute my guy ChrisBeCappinn, my guy Ski. Those are pretty much my biggest inspirations to start my channel. So there it is, man. Let's get to some money.
Absolutely. So we'll go through we'll go through a quick recap. Yesterday, I had the Liberty money line from Thursday night. Well, it's Friday night with the Chicago Sky money line from last night. 0.5 unit play, which ended up being a loser. The Sky ended up fighting back. I think they went on an 8 or 9-0 run to get it within 1, and then Aaliyah Boston ended up getting a 3-point play on Cardosa, putting them up. She ended up hitting the free throw and putting them up by 4. And the Chicago Sky, even though they bounced back, they ended up losing the game by 1 point. So shout out to the Liberty. Shout out to the Fever. They took my money yesterday. But you live and you learn, man. I saw one comment in the chat already, and all the numbers on the right-hand side are updated as well. Todd says, Grand Rising, everyone. The Sky should be ashamed of their performance yesterday, but it's a new day filled with new opportunities. Let's get some money. Yeah, they shot the ball terrible from the three-point line. And for people who don't know, man, the three-point shot in the WNBA, it swings the pendulum in a crazy way, because if you're hitting, you're typically going to win the game. And if you're not, you're typically going to lose the game. And if you got overs and the three-point shot's not falling, your bets are cooked. And vice versa as well. I know at one point yesterday, Chicago had shot, let's see, I think I still got it pulled up real quick. Chicago shot, and not to dwell on yesterday too much, but I know I was looking into this and I was like, man, and I tweeted it out yesterday too. I said, man, you can't have less than 20 points in every single quarter if you're playing against the Fever defense. This is the worst defense in the WNBA. I wasn't expecting Chicago to struggle to score the basketball. And we did see them struggle to score the basketball, specifically from the three-point line. They shot 2 for 12 from the three-point line, 16.7%. And that was a big reason, in my opinion. And like I said, credit to the Fever. Defensively, they stepped it up. And they also doing some things with Caitlin Clark now, getting the ball out of her hands, playing point guard. It reminds me a lot of Jamal Murray against the Minnesota Timberwolves in game number 3, because they were hounding them. And that's how it's been for Caitlin Clark. So trying to do some more off-ball stuff for Caitlin Clark, and it proved to be effective. What up to my guy Mark, Tasha in here as well. Let's see. What up, Eric? Joe the Gambler in here as always. Dallas says good morning, everyone. Jamal says early bird gets the worm. Make sure you eat the make sure you eat the early bird. I like it. What up, real DJ X? Yeah, it's a lot of people in the chat, man. Definitely appreciate everybody for tuning in. B Philly says I'm a lay 15. I'm a lay Fever plus 15, and Lynx -6.5, Sparks plus 4.5, and Sun -3.5. We're gonna get to all of these. What up to my guy Sai? Marie says Clark under 23.5 points and rebounds. I know that was a winner. She didn't shoot the ball too well yesterday. All right, and tell me about it, Ball Hog. No Fung Bagley, man. That's the thing that really crushed my soul, because I know the Fever not a great defensive team, but Chicago, even though they're gonna play hard for Coach Teresa Weatherspoon, in my opinion, they still do struggle. They're gonna struggle to score the basketball. It's a young team, super young team. Cardoso first game, and you expect to take some lumps and bruises at times. So Let's get into it, Jane. Let's get into it. Like I said, 4 games. First one up, we got the Connecticut Sun. They will be in Atlanta taking on the Dream. Dream coming off a big win against the Las Vegas Aces on Friday night. Upset them. We were on the right side of that game, taking the +9. Did not think they were going to win outright. Check the injury report. Connecticut has nobody listed. For Atlanta, Jordan Canada, who's still yet to make her season debut, will be out for this Atlanta Dream team. Connecticut come in, Dream. They 7-0 straight up, but they only 2-5 against the number, including 2-0 straight up and only 0-2 against the spread on the road. And then you got the Dream, 4-2 straight up, 3-3 against the number. Like I said, coming off that big win against Vegas, it's 9-point dogs, home dogs. How you see this game going, Jen? You got any thoughts on side and total? And if not, take it straight into player props. What you liking for this one?
Well, first off, it's so funny. You forgot to mention my girl Maves could have took us to overtime that game.
Oh, she missed the free throw. Oh my God! And she's like one of the greatest shooters in the WNBA.
I'm like, oh, we good. We going to overtime now.
In and out.
I think Cardoso would have held it down. You know, she looked really good her first game. But
absolutely.
As far as this game, like you said, Connecticut is undefeated, going on the road to Atlanta. I truly do not trust that team. But even with that being said, I just can't lay it on the road with Connecticut. If I was looking any way, it would probably be that way. But the Dream did show me a lot of fight, beating the Aces straight up. Now, it was a shorthanded Aces team, but they did show me a lot of fight that game. And it's the same thing. It's a Sunday game, the first game of the day, standalone game. And if you're not going to get up any game this season, it'll be for the team that's 7-0 coming into your house. So I don't have a play on the side or total, but I do have a couple looks. And I didn't make a straight bet. Well, I did make a straight bet for this game, but I'd rather give you guys some trends that I looked at, and I'll give you guys a long shot. So Alicia Gray, if I was looking anywhere, I would be looking at her points. She's got 20 points in, I believe, 4 of her last 5 games. She's also got 3+3s in 4 of her last 5 games, if I'm not mistaken.
She hit 6. Yeah, I saw she is 6, and she's been starting super slow too, Dream. Super.
Yeah,
slow.
It's like every time I bet her, she give me a heart attack because she like put all her points up in 2 quarters, then 2 other quarters she just won't look at the rim. But she's been playing great, and if you look at what she did last year against this team, 17.7 rebounds, 18.6 rebounds, 27 points, 10 rebounds, and 18 points and 6 rebounds. Her points prop is at 16.5 right now. So again, she's over that line 4 of her last 5 in general in every game last year versus this team. So if I was looking anywhere, it would be Alicia Gray or Alyssa Gray. I'm not sure how to say her name, but it would be her points where I'll be looking. I just haven't got anywhere yet. And as far as the long shot, I did play her 4 threes and 6 rebounds for plus 1,200. Just put what I like to call blunt money on it. If you want to do an official unit size, it would be 1/10 of a unit. You know, obviously. So if your unit is $10, just put $1 on it to win $12, $12.50. So that's how I attack this game.
Yeah, I think I like that, Jim. I like that, man. Alicia Gray, she kills my soul, bro. Because I had the Dream against the Wings about a week and a half ago. You know, based off the playoff revenge spot from last year, Atlanta being in a prime bounce back spot because they had lost the game before, and she was a big reason why I lost the bet because she could not score in the first half. But like you said, James, you know, the second half of the Dream. As opposed to the first half of the Dream, and any game pretty much throughout the season so far has been opposite, like, you know, just complete night and day. It's like they really show themselves in the second half for whatever reason. Their offense gets better, their defense is more crisp. So maybe if you like Connecticut, you like Connecticut early in this game. This line did open up at 2.5. As soon as the game ended yesterday, I went ahead and, you know, was out looking for lines, and it opened at 2.5. I see it getting pushed up to 4. Actually, damn, I see a 4.5 right now. Wow. So this is moving, and it seems like that always happens while I'm on the show. But yeah, I see this up to 4.5 on Caesars right now. So, that's kind of my thought. So I want to talk about the side just a tad bit because the line is moving, and then I'll talk about the total. So, I think if I'm playing aside, I think and I left this comment up here from Zachariah on the screen because I do think that could be a bit of it as well. You got the Dream coming off a win against the defending champs last year as 9-point dogs, so you don't expect them to play with that much effort and energy. This Atlanta team has a lot of variance, man. Like they can be really, really good, and we just saw that, or they can come out super flat and end up losing the game that they're supposed to win. We've seen that so far this season as well. So if I'm looking at a side, I am looking at Connecticut in this game, man. This team is number 1 in net rating. They're plus 11.7. They are 7-0, of course, in the W so far. And the big thing I looked at, Dream, because we both started handicapping the WNBA last year, so you could say we're still relatively new. But since last year, Connecticut got dogs, Dream. I think you would agree with that. Like, like when you talk about dogs, like it's 3 of them that jump out to me, but their whole team, even Coach White, I think all of them dogs. So when so what I wanted to look at was how Connecticut does on the road as a favorite. Since we started capping the WNBA last year, Jay, they're 14-2 straight up. So I mean, you're literally just asking them to win by a possession. That's 87.5%, with the average line being about 5.5, and they're winning the games by an average of 8 points per game. This is a team that's not really going to beat themselves. You know, I'm not betting against them in this spot. They may be due for a loss, but I am concerned with what Zachariah said. You know, Atlanta coming off, could potentially be in a letdown spot here. And, off the win is 9-point dogs against the champs. So, yeah, I didn't bet it yet. And damn, I don't want to nail with the line. I see 4.5 popping up everywhere. So a lot of money coming in Connecticut here. But that's the way that I would be looking as well. Definitely want to get, the shortest line as possible, though. So I didn't bet this one. As far as the total, before we keep it moving, this was a game that I really dug deep into for as far as the total. And I'm not sure if that total has moved. It opened at 159.5. It is moving up to 160. I see some 160.5 as well. This is where I kind of disagree with the market. So Connecticut is 2-0 to the over in their 2 road games so far this season. But I saw a lot of things when I was looking at this from a matchup perspective and a couple trends as well that makes me lean a little bit more towards the under. So first, we'll talk about the Dream. They've actually gone under their team total in all 3 home games so far this season, and they've held 2 of their 3 opponents under their team total. We just saw them play a really good defensive game against the Aces. That game was like 7-5 at the end of the first quarter. Connecticut, you look at them, they're playing at the slowest pace in the league so far. This is the 2nd best defensive rated team. Connecticut also, they're grabbing the 3rd most offensive rebounds, and they lead the league and they're leading the 2nd most in second chance points as well. This is a Connecticut team that has dogs, specifically Bree Jones. We know Alyssa Thomas is, one of the probably biggest dog in the WNBA. She got a big bark. When I think about them being a really good defensive team, I think about them playing at a very slow pace. And I think about the Dream being an excellent rebounding team as well. I mean, Tina Charles is down there. You got Cheyenne Parker-Tyus now, being able to play that 4 position, not necessarily play the 5. I like this game to go under for those reasons. I think that neutralizes, with Atlanta being able to rebound the basketball, I think that neutralizes Connecticut. I also looked at this. Connecticut, they're 12th and 10th in restricted area field goal percentage. While they're number 1 in points in the paint. Atlanta, best team in the league so far, allowing teams to shoot just 27%. And a lot of that is Tina Charles. Like Asia still went, did her thing in the last game, but she's really, really excellent defensively. And I think that Atlanta's size in this game should be able to slow Connecticut's offense down. So like I said, I lean towards the under. Atlanta, a couple more things I want to mention. Atlanta, number 1 team in above the break field goal percentage. They're shooting the 3 at 39%. A lot of that is Ryan Howard. A lot of that is Alicia who am I talking about, Jane? Yeah, a lot of that is her as well, being able to knock down that above the break 3. But Connecticut, number 1 team at defending above the break 3. We know Dejanay gonna be out there. We know she don't play no games when it comes to locking up and strapping up on defense. And that's actually helped Connecticut to get to 7-0. They are they're allowing teams to shoot just 26% from the above the break 3. So all of that, in conjunction, it does make me think that this game goes a little bit more towards the under than the over. 160 points is not a lot of points in the WNBA, but with Connecticut playing slow, Atlanta playing a little bit better defense, and being able to limit Connecticut, in my opinion, specifically in the rebound and second chance points department. I do think this is an under game, and I would be looking towards Connecticut. I think they are the right side in this game. We've been on this game for a minute, so let's keep it pushing. I do want to go back and get into a couple of the comments real quick. Let's see. Zacharias has got Sun -1.5, -110 this morning. The line's been moving. B Philly says that Philly said this is definitely a Sun spot. Everybody's saying that the line continues to move. Glow says he's staying away from this one. What up, Johnny? He says, good morning, Chris, in the chat. I'm getting my list out. I'm still trying to remember all the WNBA mascot names. Yeah, you can just look that up, man. Glow says UConn some bullies and the refs like them, so he thinks Connecticut. And Zachariah says that Dream Team total under 78.5. He said he locked that in as well. Philly says the same thing. He says Dream Team total under 78.5 today, -122 on FanDuel. So you just take them specifically. I think that this could be a slow-paced game, and the more the total goes up, the more I like the under. I see it ticking up to 160.5. And Johnny just became a member as well. Ball Talk says Sun take their first loss tonight, so he likes Atlanta plus the points. We'll see what happens. Let's keep it pushing. Get on to the second game. So we got the Sparks and the Mercury up next, Dream. We got a tricky game here. We talk about variance in the WNBA, man. Injury-wise, Becca Allen is still going to be out with that concussion. BG is still going to be out. Still has yet to make her season debut. And then for the Sparks, we got Lasia Clarendon. She remains out, and Azare Stevens also remains out. Both usual suspects for this Sparks team as far as playing. So visiting Road Sparks, Road Dogs, they are 2-5 straight up on the season, 2-4-1 against the number. And then you got a home Phoenix Mercury team, James. 4th game in 6 nights here for them. They've had to travel for each single one of them. They've also been on the road. This is their first game returning back home after four road games. They're 3-5 straight up, 4-4 against the spread so far. And coming off of SmackDown, they got smoked on Friday night, lost that game by 24 points to the Lynx on Friday. 4 straight losses and only 1-4 against the number in their last 5, Dream. You laying 4.5 points with the Mercury here, or you gonna take it with the Sparks? Talk to me about what you doing.
Oh my God, no, man, especially not first game back from a road trip. I couldn't lay with the Mercury. If I was doing anything, I would wait and try and get the biggest number with the Sparks I could. The Sparks, they're a try hard team. No matter what, they're gonna try hard. And I do, as much as I could like a bad team, I do like the Sparks because they got a good fusion of youth and vets. So if I was looking anywhere, I would actually look at the Sparks. And I was doing all the research I could. Like my gut is telling me under, but it's the Mercury. And then I looked last year, completely different rosters for the most part. But the Sparks have scored 90 points against this Mercury team in 4 of their last 5 games. Sparks couldn't score last year. Just like so how the hell are y'all scoring 90 points? Excuse my language on this beautiful Sunday. So I just said, I'm not touching the total. There's one way I'm looking in this game. Derica Hamby.
Oh, I was waiting for you to get to it, G. I see it right here by Jamie as well. Pretty sharp guy in the chat, and I was gonna talk about it.
Yeah, man.
You got it.
There's a myriad of ways that you could attack this. You can start with her over 18.5 points, which is still widely available. She's only covered that 4 of 7 times this season, but she's gonna be the lead dog. She's gonna have the most shots of the team. She gives me like Julius Randle vibes. She always like, woo, woo, woo. I'm open right here. Let me get that. And they be
no Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, right. No, when I know Brunson, she run the floor. Nice post game. She can hit a nice mid range shot. And again, she has been on the tear all year. So if you wanted to lean toward her points plus rebounds, I also have a bet where I played her 10 rebounds. So I did take her over 18.5 points for 3/4 of the unit. For what it's worth, she had, I think, 21 points in the preseason game in 21 minutes, or 17 points in 21 minutes in the preseason. But yeah, I took Hamby points, and I also did a 2-legger parlay with her 10 rebounds in the Lynx money line. I know we're going to get to the Lynx game a little later, but I got that for -128. Last time I checked, it was -130. So again, Hamby points, Hamby rebounds. That's the only thing that I actually trust this game. Couldn't talk you off of Kalia Copper points as well. Because they're pretty low. You get it at a low price. It's been 24.5 recently. Now it's 22.5. But yeah, Hamby all day, all night. That's all I could trust this game.
Yeah, that's that. I think you hit the nail right on the head, Dream. I haven't been playing many player props, but I love the look by Hamby. I know Jamie had mentioned it as well. Sound like a lot of people in the chat. Zachariah said Hamby everything.
That's it.
And it, it's pretty simple here, man. So so I want to start the cap by saying this. There's a lot of, when we talk about variance in the WNBA, I mentioned it already, but we talk about the 3-point shot. And that's what it is for the Mercury, man. If this team is hidden, we've seen them beat the Aces outright without Brittany Griner. And we've also seen them get smoked as well and score 47 points against the Connecticut Sun just like 2 weeks after that, and have the worst shooting performance in WNBA history. I think they shot 5% in that game. So, that there you go with the 3-point shot. Because of that, I think I would look towards the under. I see money coming in on the under as well. I see this total open at 164.5. It's down to 162.5 at some books, 163.5 at most. So money is coming in on under here. And you would think that it's a terrible spot, man. Not only is it the first game back home for the Mercury, after a 3-game road trip, but it's also a 4th game in 6 nights for them as well, where they had to travel, like I said, each one. Phoenix is they're number 1 or number 2 in 3-point makes and attempts so far. And they shoot it at a pretty good percentage. We know that without BG in there, all they really want to do is try to get downhill. It's Kalia Copper, it's Sophie Cunningham, it's all of those guards. They just want to, launch threes. They can get an open look. So this is the game to me, depending upon the Sparks' 3-point defense, in my opinion. If their 3-point defense is about average, and if they can defend the 3 well, I do think that they can score with this Phoenix Mercury team. The Mercury are I think I got it somewhere down here at the bottom. They're 2nd worst defensive rated team in the WNBA. No way I'm laying points with them. They're also third worst in net rating, and I think that really has hurt. One thing that really hurt the Sparks is they struggle to protect the ball. They actually turned the ball over at the highest rate so far, but Phoenix is dead last in turnover percentage. Phoenix don't force no turnovers because they don't play any defense. So I think all of those angles make me think Sparks plus the 4.5 is the right side in this game. I know the Sparks are coming off a loss against the Chicago Sky. I think they lost that game by 9 or 10 points against Chicago. Kurt Miller missed that game. He was getting inducted into the Hall of Fame for the MAC, I think it was. So having him back on the sidelines, I think is going to be pretty big for them. I like taking, the dog that's coming off a loss, especially when they underperformed in the last game, in my opinion. So I would be playing the plus 4.5 here, man. It's an ugly one. You hold your nose, you close your eyes, go walk your dog, take your girl out, grab some lunch, and you come back and just check the score. I'm not laying, multiple possessions with this Phoenix Mercury team, situationally, like we talked about, and definitely not, wanting to do it based on a Sparks team that I think should be able to keep up with them offensively. You just need, and that's why you need Clarendon back so bad, man. You need the point guard to be out there. Kid Nurse is good, but they, it's a super young team. When we talk about Cameron Brink, they just, not just Cameron Brink, but, just kind of putting it all together. This roster had a lot of turnover from last season. Even with Lexi Brown being back, she, of course, missed a lot of last season as well. So now we transition to what Dream was talking about, what the chat's talking about. Dearica Hamby, man, I think it's a couple ways you could play it, like Dream said. Over her 11.5 rebounds. She's over in 5 of the 7 games so far this season. There's no Brittany Griner down there. Phoenix plays at the 2nd fastest pace in the WNBA, which should mean that there's a lot more opportunities for her. And Dearica Hamby been crushing it. Not just points, not just rebounds, points and rebounds. So that's the other way. Over 30.5, like Jamie said in the chat, man. She's over in 5 of the 7 games so far this season as well. One of them she finished on the hook. And the surprising thing is the game that she finished on the hook and the other game she went under, both actually came against the Fever, which is weird because they don't play any defense. But with the Mercury, like I said, 4th game in 6 nights, I would be looking at Dearica Hamby. I don't know what her usage rate is, but I can only imagine it's through the roof. And I would think that they would have the matchup advantage specifically in the paint with no Brittany Griner. So Dearica Hamby over 30.5 points plus rebounds is the way that I would choose to play it. And I do think that she has a really good game here. She's coming off a game where she had 24 and 13 against Chicago. And Chicago got way more bigger bodies than with Elizabeth Williams being down there in the paint than this version of the Phoenix Mercury, in my opinion. So I would look towards Dearica Hamby over her 30.5. I would just put it together, the points plus rebounds, and I would definitely be taking the 4.5 before I'm laying the 4.5 with the Phoenix Mercury here. Any other comments on this one, Dream? We can keep you pushing.
Just the last thing on Hamby, she's got to be top 5 in the league in minutes. I was watching the last game and they mentioned something like, I think she's got a combined 9 minutes on the bench the last 2 games. So she like Josh Hart out there. So yeah, that's another reason you gotta like him.
Hey, I'm glad you mentioned it, Jay. I got her box score pulled up right here. She missed 1 minute in the last game against Chicago. She played the full game against the Fever. She missed 2 minutes against the Dallas Wings. So she's missed 3 minutes in the last 3 games, like you said.
Okay, something like that. Yeah, I knew I heard some wild stat. Like, see, I even better. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I like the De'Ara Hamby look a lot for sure. All right. Let's see. I want to go to Joe the Gambler real quick. He says, when a team is below 500 off over a 20-point loss and a home favorite, they're 32-14 and 2 to the under. So this speaks to over a loss below a team below 50. So I think this is the Mercury off over a 20-point loss. The Mercury did lose by 20 against the Lynx the other day. And their home favorite, 32-14 and 2. So maybe they play a little bit of defense. We don't expect the Sparks to be the greatest offensive team. I think this makes a ton of sense to me. Under 165, well, actually coming down there, 163. It looks like it's the best number. I like that look a lot, Joe. Tomorrow says, but probably what most people think. He says, can't lay no points with the Mercury, but also can't take points with the Sparks. Like I said, you walk the dog, go grab some lunch and come back tomorrow. Hopefully you have some money in your account, man. Let's see. Ball Talk says betting on the Mercury is the ultimate gamble. They playing straight up pickup ball right now, and that's a fact, man. Khalil Copper get hot, it could be over for sure. Tomorrow says I got PTSD betting the Phoenix from the NBA. He don't want no parties. Phoenix took my money as well tomorrow. I'm right there with you, man. Matt says Mercury living and dying by the 3-point shot. He likes the Sparks plus the 4.5, and I would be right there with him as well. Blessings Betted says Carrington under 12.5 points. Dejanay under 12.5 points at -120. And tomorrow says, is Tibbs coaching? Yeah, he might be out there.
He might be.
For sure. He might got counts.
Nah,
All right, let me continue.
I love some tips, because I feel like the Knicks would have got them a game with no Brunson. They would have got them a game versus Boston. Or
that's
whoever,
a fact. That's a fact.
If you just lost to, they would have got them a game.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. That's a fact. And I'll say this: if people don't know, man, Cal's a diehard Knicks fan. He loved the Knicks, so he probably still a little emotional. I know he had them to win the championship this year. He had them to come out the East. Cal might be a little emotional, man. Let's keep it pushing. We got 2 more W games to get to. Next up, we got the Wings and the Lynx. I know, Jim, you kind of mentioned this one already, but we got the visiting Dallas Wings. They're getting 6.5 points. I see this line actually moving towards 7.5 now. For Dallas, there will be no Satu Sabali. I was telling Dream right before we started the stream that I had a dream Natasha Howard was playing basketball, and that's how locked in I guess I am on the W right now. But she'll be out as far as we know. No Satu Sabali though, no Natasha Howard. On the Minnesota side, I think everybody is going to be in outside of Diamond Miller, who will be reevaluated, I think, in the next few weeks. And she's missed the last few games as well. So we get a Dallas team here, Dream, 3-3 straight up, 5-1 against the number. They've been covering 5th straight road game for them, and they have also covered 5 straight games as well. Now the Lynx, I mean, they've been a problem outside of getting smoked to the Aces, and Aces taking my money. This team is 5-2 straight up, 6-1 against the number. 3rd straight home game for them. Nice bounce back spot against the Mercury on Friday. Won that game by 24 points when they were laying. I think they were laying 7 in that spot after, like I said, that 14-point loss as a 3.5, 4-point dog on Wednesday. So what do you think happened in this one, Jay? You think Dallas got enough to keep it close, or you think the Lynx just too good both offensively and defensively? Talk to me how you think about playing this one.
This is, I've had such strong opinions about almost every card, but I'm telling you, this card with the sides and totals, maybe the league is getting sharp, hopefully not, but maybe these numbers are starting to get a little sharper. I could only, first off, full disclosure, I am like the #1 Lynx fan in the world. I love the Lynx. I love Kayla McBride, Nafisha Collier. I got Lynx futures at whatever the hell they are, plus 4,000, plus 5,000. Love that team. I think they should be able to take care of business versus Dallas, but 6.5, 7 points is so much with a team that obviously got Enrique who can shoot you in or out of the game, but Mo Billings, Mandy Secrets, I don't know who, I can't pronounce her name, but
you got Mandy Secrets,
yeah. So, and I know they're still missing Satu, they're still missing Natasha Howard, but they still got Tierra McCowan to give you 25, 28 minutes. She went crazy against this team last year. The Lynx are even smaller. So I couldn't talk you off of Tierra McCowan having a big game, but where I would actually look is the under. I know that both of these teams, are high scoring teams, great offensively, but at the end of the day, 165 points is so much, and each of these teams have playoff aspirations, low-key championship aspirations when they're fully healthy for Dallas. So I think that all it takes is one bad quarter, and you in the 150s. So if anywhere, I will be looking, as far as the side or total, I will be looking at the under for this game, but I didn't play either. As far as a play I did make, Kayla McBride, this is on BetMGM. If you can't get this, just play her assists outright. But Kayla McBride, 3 assists and 10 points. 10 points and 3 assists for Kayla McBride. So she's done this in 6 of her last 7 games. She's got 3 assists in 6 of her 7 games. In double digits, 5 of her 7 games this season. One of those games was a blowout, and one of those games was the first game of the season where she finished with 9 and she only took 8 shots. She's got double-digit shot attempts and 5 of her last 6 games. And last year against this team, 20 points both times she played them. Also 6 or 7 rebounds, which isn't something she tends to do. So, yeah, Kayla McBride, 10 points, 3 assists. This is on BetMGM. If you can't get that, Mandy Secrets over, I actually got it at 12.5, but 13.5 is just fine. Over her 13.5 points. It feels like to me they're transitioning away from playing Kalani and Tierra so much, and you're getting a lot more Mo Billings and Mandy. Mandy is over this number 3 of her last 3 games, I believe, and she even got a 20-point game in there as well. So this is the Lynx. We are not the Lynx. They aren't the strongest team, the biggest team in size. So I would look for Dallas to try to exploit that. Going inside the Lynx, they're just going to try and spread you out, play 5 out, shoot threes, and give feet a ball in the post. So with that being said, yeah, I will be looking at Mandy over her points. Maddie over her points, and Kayla McBride, 10 points, 3 assists. That's on BetMGM. Mandy, I got the 12.5 at minus 135. I believe Maddie. I got to stop calling her Mandy. I believe she's right now over 13.5 plus money. I'd still take that. And Kayla McBride was a minus 120 for 10 points and 3 assists for her.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense here, Dream. I think, you hit on a lot of things that I think, perfectly align with this game. First of all, man, the Lynx are really good. Like you said, Dream, I love this Lynx team as well. Nafisa Collier is my favorite player, and I love Coach Crystal Reeves as well. I think, you can tell that they've won championships with Coach Reeves. And Kayla McBride is so steady. She's so consistent, man. She's a walking bucket out there. Her ability to not just, shoot the 3-point shot, but she's a leader out there. She has a ton of experience, ultimate competitor. I don't know who we compare it to, Dream, but maybe you think about who the NBA comparison to Kayla McBride is. A person that's a leader, that can knock down the shot, that plays defense. Like, I don't know. It's kind of like Westbrook with a jump shot. But
I'm gonna have to find it. I got good comparisons. I'm gonna have to find
it. She reminds me of Westbrook with a jumper, Dream. But it's probably something better out there. I like that, Dream. I think the Lynx are starting to get priced like a little too far out of the range of where I feel comfortable, right? We know WNBA games are typically close, man. If this wasn't the last game of a 5-game road trip for the Wings in a spot where I think that they could run out of gas, I would be taking them plus the points here. And the more the bigger the line get towards the Lynx, the more I like the Wings. This team is a great team in the paint, like you mentioned, Dream. Tierra McCowan is she's like Shaq. But she gets all of the rebounds, whether they're offensive or defensive. And I don't know if Minnesota is going to be able to keep them off the glass, man. That's what the game really comes down to, in my opinion. Dallas is the number 1 offensive rebounding team in the league. They're second in number 1 in offensive rebound. Also number 1 in points and second chance points, because they get so many offensive rebounds. It's Kalani Brown too. It's not just Tierra McCowan. Minnesota, middle of the pack. They rank 5th in opponent offensive rebounds, and they rank 6th in opponent second chance points. So a lot of it is going to be, it's going to be that variance right there. Do the Lynx catch the Wings slipping, coming off a big win against the Phoenix Mercury, or do the Lynx keep it going versus the Wings, who could potentially run out of gas from that last game, with this being the last game of a road trip? Like I mentioned, the Wings, even though, and you mentioned this as well, Dream, no Satu Sabali, no Natasha Howard, they keep either covering or winning 5 in a row now. I'm not looking to bet against them because they do have Arike Ogunbowale, who we know is leading the W in NBA in points. She's an absolute bucket out there. And like you said, Maddie Siegrist, Mo Billings, like this team can continue to play hard for Coach Trammell as well. So I'm not interested in betting against the Dallas Wings. I just don't like the spot as much. If this was the second game of a road trip, I'd be taking the points here. And it's no knock against the Lynx. The Lynx have been winning. And when they've been winning, they've been covering. Their defense has been excellent. I want to say first in defensive rating, first in opponent effective field goal percentage, which, like you said, Jim, I think the best play in the game is probably towards the under. I know the Dream play fast, but the Lynx, they're not playing that fast. The Lynx are actually, the Lynx are second in pace, but they are, one of the best defensive rated teams so far in the WNBA, and Dallas defense is not necessarily the worst either. They're actually second in opponent effective field goal percentage, holding teams to less than 46%. So I like this game to go under, like Dream said. I do think that's the way that I would be playing it. One thing about the W, like James said, 1 15-point quarter, one 12-point quarter, you cook. All your overs are cooked. So makes a ton of sense to me. I think, like I said, if I'm playing the spread, I definitely want the points with the Wings. And if I'm playing the total, I'm definitely looking towards the under here. Great cap by Dream. Anything else you want to add on this one before we get into the last one, Dream?
Nah, that's it, man.
Okay. All right. Cool. Midwest Slide Diva, my girl. She says, yo, blunt money bets, my 2 favorites, 2 of the best, feels like home. Derek and Hamby today for sure. Jamie likes the Lynx early. I know this is something that's been cashing for him because I think he gave it out on the channel in the comments a couple days ago. And after that slow first quarter against the Mercury, they definitely picked it up and cashed that first half. And they just went on to smoke the Mercury after that. So couldn't talk you off for looking towards the Lynx early if you like that. Let's see. Jay says McBride is Chauncey Billups. Oh, I like that, Dream. I like that. Steady, not the biggest, not the strongest.
Shooting that 3 off the pick and roll for sure.
Yeah, I like that. And a great leader. Yeah, there you go, Jay. I like that.
She definitely got some big shot vibes to her. That's a pretty good
Absolutely. That's a great one. Yeah, Chauncey. Good old Chauncey Billups, man. Ball head Chauncey. Okay. Tomorrow says Dallas is rested despite the long road trip, Chris. So I wouldn't say super rested though tomorrow. They just played on Friday. They played on Friday. So just 1 day of rest, and they had to travel. The Lynx playing their 3rd straight game at home. That's scary to me because one team having to travel, the other team not having to travel. Dallas, I still think will be motivated if you're looking towards them, especially being that they lost that game. Arike missed a game time shot, or I don't know if it's game time or game winning, but it did go in and out. Like it wasn't a bad shot. It just went in and out, kind of like the free throw yesterday from Mabry. So yeah, I do think they're going to continue to be motivated in this game. I'm only taking the Wings is what I'm looking at. Artie says Nafisha was dishing it well, except for those 2 last games, but her assist is something to look at. Her 4 assists is something to look at plus 156. Yeah, she hasn't been really scoring as much because the team has been playing well, but we know Fee can turn it on anytime. Any thoughts about these comments, James?
I definitely agree with Fee. Assists. It was something I was looking at. I didn't get there with her, but for what it's worth, she had Nafisha Collier 25 and 27 last year versus this team in 2 games. Now it is a different team, but yeah, 25 and 29 last year she had against this team. So for whatever that's worth.
Okay, no, I like it. And tomorrow, great point here. I totally forgot about this. I didn't even look into this today, but it was one of the reasons why I like the Wings in the game on Friday versus Connecticut. We cashed plus 8.5. And it was because they had, like you said, before that game on Friday, they hadn't played since Sunday. So I didn't think that they were going to run out of gas, and they absolutely did not. Great point by you on a comeback there. I like that a lot. All right, last game up. We got the Fever, and they will be in New York today. This team is getting 15 points, Dream. I didn't see that I don't even think they released the injury report, but I didn't see anybody go out for the Fever yesterday. I would think that all of them would play. In the Liberty, I don't know what's up with Courtney Vandersloot. I didn't see her update. I noticed she was downgraded to questionable in the last game. She ended up not playing. Looks like she's a game time decision. Also, Sabali, not Satu's sister, is on the injury report as well. I do see now, Courtney Vandersloot is out. She's gonna be out for Sunday's game. I didn't see that when I looked at it earlier, but yeah, she won't be a part of this game, and it looks like Satu's sister is also going to be out for this game. So that's a lot of depth for this team on a Liberty team, in my opinion, that don't got a lot of depth in the first place. Mm-hmm. You also got Timmy Fambagle, who will remain out for the Fever, and their starting lineup is kind of intact. Dream, feels like they're getting a little bit of chemistry together. They are just 2-8 straight up, but they have covered 5 of the 10 spreads so far. They are -11 in net rating. Of course, this is the second leg of a back-to-back. They got their first home win against the Chicago Sky yesterday. Getting their first home win. Do the Liberty blow the doors off them here, Dream, or do the Liberty, who are only 6-2? Well, I guess should say are 6-2 straight up, but only 1-7 against the number, 0-5 at home against the number, a +5 in net rating, but still laying 15 points. Dream, what do we do with this Liberty team? Can the Fever keep it close, even though it's second leg of a back-to-back, or would you be laying the 15 with the Liberty, even though they haven't covered a big number all season?
Lay the 15 with the Liberty.
Absolutely not, right?
I won't even lay 5 with the Liberty right now. Ain't playing. Ain't no way. Not even against this team on a back-to-back off of an emotional win. Oh, no. I could only look toward the Fever with the 15. Now, obviously, there's a universe where, Caitlin Clark is sitting on the bench with 8 minutes left because they down by 30. You know what I mean? And the Fever done put up 80-something points with 9 minutes left in the game. So I'm not betting neither one, but I could only look toward the points. I can't trust this Liberty team. I cannot trust them. If I wanted to back the Liberty, I would only bet their team total. I'm not sure what it is, but I would only bet the Liberty team total. I can't back the Liberty early. I can't back them for the full game. Just them to score. It's really tough.
75.5, Dream, is that team total right now. Look like the best number you can get is a -125 on DraftKings. 76.5 everywhere else
for the Liberty,
but for the Fever.
Oh, okay. Okay, so yeah, I would bet the Liberty team total over, depending on
91.5. 91.5.
So that's a little too rich for my blood. That's a little too rich for my blood. But that's the only way I could look. And as far as props for this game, just a couple trends. First off, Nalissa Smith, I'm almost gonna get there with her points. They're pretty juicy at 12.5. But ever since she liked that little comment on Twitter about it not needing to only be about Caitlin Clark, she done came out balling. Last 2 games, she's covered this number, flirting with a double-double both games. So Nalissa Smith points, or her points plus rebounds, is definitely somewhere I may get with this game. Another thing, Breanna Stewart assists. If Vandersloot's going to be out, Breanna Stewart, she covered her since last game. A lot of people are going to go to Sabrina, but Breanna Stewart assists historically go through the roof without Vandersloot playing. And Caitlin Clark, her line is at 6.5. Ooh, I'm a little too scared to touch that, but for what it's worth, her 6 assists, she's got 6 assists in 8 of her last 9 games. Obviously, she's over that in a few of those games, but 6 assists seems to be like a nice benchmark for her. You're pretty sure she's going to get trapped, pretty sure she's going to get doubled like she's been doing, and that's going to leave opportunities for her teammates just to hit shots. So I will be looking at Nalissa Smith points plus rebounds. I'll be looking at Caitlin Clark and Breanna Stewart assists. Quick, a player comp, Jonquel Jones, Boogie Cousins. Peak Boogie Cousins, Jonquel Jones. To me, that's the player comp.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah, I couldn't talk you off of Jonquel double-double as well.
Okay, yeah, Jonquel she could feast in this game. And just for what it's worth, these 2 teams have played twice already this season. The Fever lost 1 game by 11, but then they got smoked in the last game. It's actually one of the biggest win that the Liberty had this season was by 36 points, and it came against the Indiana Fever. One time that they actually did, one of the 2 times that I think, well, hold on, no, I think it's the only time that they covered a spread so far. Yeah, the only spread that they covered so far came against this Fever team. They beat them 102-66. That game was in Indiana. It was Indiana's home opener after Indiana had lost to the Connecticut Sun, if I remember correctly. And that's when we thought the Fever were going, when we thought the Liberty were going to, be able to take care of business. They absolutely have not. They've covered 0 spreads of the of the 7 since then. And they also didn't cover against the Mystics in game number 1 either. The interesting thing about this Liberty team, in my opinion, because I'm trying to figure out, Jenny, like I got, I'm running like models, like matchup stat models. And of course I go in and look at, points projected, all that good stuff. The thing that stick out to me with the Liberty, because I'm trying to figure out why they can't cover, Jenny, the thing that sticks out to me with the Liberty is the totals have been too high. Their offense, and I don't know if you're seeing this as well, but they really struggled to shoot the 3-point shot. Like a lot of their success to me comes when Jonquel Jones is, kind of, being that force in the paint, because Sabrina, Brianna, Courtney, like their shots are not falling. They're definitely missing.
Especially. She hasn't had a game yet.
It's been really, really bad. When their shots are falling, they get to that 102, like they got against the Fever when they did blow them out, win that game by 36 points, 102-66. But when those threes are not falling, I mean, they scored 90 against the Mystics and went over their team total by 3 points. But against the Mercury, they went under their team total by 12 points. They scored 81 points against the Mercury, and the Mercury was on the second leg of a back-to-back. And the Mystics, the Liberty had 3 days of rest in that spot. You go back a game farther against the Lynx, they scored 67 points in that game, went under their team total by 20 points. A game before that, the Chicago Sky come into town. The Chicago Sky beat them 90-81. They lose that game outright. They go under their team total by 11.5 points, only score 81. This is supposed to be one of the best offenses in the league, a team that's coming out with vengeance after losing in the finals last year. They just have not been able to put it together. So a lot of them not covering has been them not being able to score the basketball. I'm looking at it right now. Of the 8 games that they've played so far, they've actually only gone over their team total twice. They went over against the game that they covered against the Fever, and they just went over against the Mystics. But outside of that, every single game that they played, they just have not been able to score the basketball. Meanwhile, the defense has also been struggling. Every team that they played against, of the 8 teams that they've played so far, 5 of them have actually gone over to their team total, because the books think that the Liberty defense is supposed to be good too. But, these totals have been set so low for the opponents that they are able to go over as well. Even the Mystics went over by 5.5 points. We don't think of the Mystics being able to score 80 points, but they were. Even without Brittany Sykes. So yeah, the Fever, the Liberty have been the most interesting team in my opinion so far, and they continue to get priced like a really good WNBA team. And they have not been
like last year. Those team totals pricing them like last year when the offense doesn't appear to be the same offense. Yeah,
absolutely. Real quick, Jamie, this is something that's been making him money, and it's made me some money as well for whatever reason. That first quarter, they look great, and they look like the team that they have been. They're averaging 26 points in the first quarter. This team total, he says, at 23.5. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. He also likes them in the first quarter. They are a plus 6.2 in the first quarter as well. So 4.5 seems to be good. But I kind of feel like this is a game where if the Fever gonna run out of gas, it'll probably be late. Zachariah likes Brianna points and assists over here. Tomorrow says Fever off a win, back-to-back. 3rd game in 4 nights. Liberty scored at least 91 points in the last 2 previous games versus the Fever. So I think he's taking that team total to go over. Joey, I want to mention this one real quick. He said he said he puked all over himself when he played when that free throw missed yesterday. He says, I'm betting New York just because I hate money. So, that minus 15 is a big number. No way I could do it here. But I can see them, eventually getting it together. I just kind of feel like the Fever playing as the season goes on. The Fever gonna play a little bit more. The schedule makers have been really bad to them as far as giving them so many games. They do get a nice break. I don't think they play again until like Wednesday or Well, I think they don't play again until Wednesday or Thursday. So they get a nice little break. But this is, like you said, 3rd game in 4 nights, 2nd leg of a back-to-back with travel. So. Yeah, it makes a ton of sense here. I can see it kind of going both ways. One of the reasons why I'll stay off of this one. Richard says Liberty will blow the doors off the Fever. OJ says Liberty here all day. Fever team total under. He also says, Richard goes back to say only way Fever win is if Clark scores 25 and has 10 assists. And then this Barnes says first quarter under 42.5. I think if his points gonna be scored, I think it could be early. I don't really have a strong opinion on the total for the first quarter. I would just be looking towards the Liberty, just because it has been their best quarter by far. First quarter, they're averaging 26 points. Second quarter, third quarter, they're averaging 36 combined. So it's been really, really bad here. Chad, what up, Chad? Chad in here said he's like the dream on the money line today. He says Suns are not 9. He says Suns are not 9-0, are not a 9-0 team. And Antonio says New York is gonna blow it today. Blow them out, I think is what he means. Joey says on a serious note, the Fever might run out of gas. You know, they party some. I like the New York first quarter, first half. I mean, yeah, New York still has a lot to be desired, and it wouldn't surprise me if they came out here and tried to get themselves together today, man. So excellent show by my guy Dream, man. I appreciate Dream coming on here and sharing his looks, taking his time out. We've been on for about 50 minutes, discussing 4 games, really deep, handicap, really deep dive into these games. Hopefully it was helpful for you guys. Here are my top looks, man. I kind of went over these. I'll go back and, break down the chapters like I always do. I like Connecticut, Atlanta under. This total has moved since we started the show. It's up to 160.5, I think 161. But I like that under. I like De'Erica Hamby over her 30.5 points plus rebounds. Not a rocket science to prove that. And then I also like the Sparks, man. Like I said, it's a stinky one, but plus the 4.5 would be the only way that I'm looking in that game. And it was a couple other looks that we talked about as well that if I do end up getting to the window with, I will send those out to the members. Dream, what is it that you wanna leave with the people for today, man? Because as I said, I can go in here and have my short list over here and have your short list to the opposite side. What is it that you want to leave with the people today? Let me put dream looks.
Yeah, man. Hamby, 10 rebounds in the Lynx money line. That's okay. A 2-leg parlay. So let's go. Hold on. Let's go.
Hamby. You said what was it, James?
10 rebounds.
10 rebounds.
The Lynx money line.
Okay.
Maddie Seagrit. We'll just call it over 13.5 points.
Maddie, how you spell Seagrant?
I think it's SIEGRANT. Let me double check.
SIE?
It's hold on. SIG. No, SIEG. SIEG.
Yeah, that was right. Maddie Seagrass. What's the rest of it, Jimmy?
SIEGRANT.
RIST. Yeah. Maddie Seagrass. What was it? What was the number? What was it for her?
And it was 13.5 right now. It's 13.5.
Okay.
Also, I played Kayla McBride, 10 points and 3 assists. That's on MGM.
Okay.
And it was.
You don't got to give them all that, Jane. You don't got to give them all the sauce, man. But that's enough. That's great. I don't remember. I mean, if you want to keep firing, you can. But yeah, I think that's great, man. So yeah, short list for Dream here on the right hand side, man. The looks that I'm looking at on the left hand side, man. Like Dream said, going back to the top, man. It's a 4-game card, but it don't mean you got to force a lot of bets. This does seem like it's a really difficult slate to kind of handicap, man. And we're here to make money, not just make bets, right? I think that's important to remember as well. You don't want to force action. I've never been big on forcing action. And another thing that Dream mentioned, and I think that this is absolutely something that I agree with. The lines will get sharper. You want to attack. It don't matter what sport you're betting. It could be tennis, hockey, soccer, baseball, NFL. The lines are going to get sharper as the season goes on. And, we've seen, 7-8 games pretty much from from every team in the W now. So these lines will continue to get sharper, man. And I think I also want to add, Dream. I know, man, that line keep moving, man. I don't want to take Dallas plus the whatever it is. If it gets to 8.5, 8.
I'll be with you
there. I think I'll be looking there. And look towards that under as well, man. Dallas and Minnesota. So I got some homework to do. Clearly, we got some time, but I got some homework to do. I like the under. I think it was 165. Was that number, James? I think I'll be looking towards those looks as well. But like I said, I have not made a WNBA play yet today, man. I hope whatever it is that you guys like, you end up catching it. But I want to shout out my guy Dream for coming on just one more time, man. As we move along, resources that I use to handicap the WNBA, NBA are all listed here. If you're interested, definitely check them out. And Dream, tell them one more time where they can find your work, man, and plug whatever it is that you want to plug.
Yeah, man. You can follow me on Twitter, Mr. Dreamy1, the number 1. I give out public plays there. Follow my YouTube channel. I stream basically every day, like Chris. Blunt Money Bets. And that's it, man. Follow me on Twitter and check out my YouTube page. All right. And I'm also a part of a Discord. I don't want to plug it on my boy channel, but y'all could just
plug it, Dream. Plug it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm in the Discord called the Cap Collective Discord. So if you want all my plays there, you could join there. I've been there 3 months. I'm up like 70 units, so it's been really good so far. So that's where you can find all my stuff. And again, I appreciate you, my guy. I wouldn't be here doing it if it wasn't for you. So I appreciate you having me on, man.
Absolutely, Dream. Appreciate you again, man, for taking the time out your day to come on and share the looks, man. And that'll be it for myself. Like I said, all official plays. I'm gonna take a little bit more of a deep dive, especially now that some of these lines can move. I'll send out whatever it is today. If you made it this far, you enjoyed the show, man, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. Share the show if you guys can. Co-workers, friends, family, whoever trying to make some money betting the WNBA. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. The link for all my official plays, as always, is in the description. And best of luck, man. Enjoy the games. We got 4 in the W today. There's no WNBA games for tomorrow. There's no NBA games for tomorrow. So you know what that means? I get a day off, and I haven't had one in a very long time, man. So I'm excited about that. But we'll be back on Tuesday. It's more W games on Tuesday, and we'll get to it then, man. Until then, best of luck on all your action, man. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Enjoy your Sundays.